Hello and welcome to part 4 of our Game of the Year deliberations. Joining me today, Mitchell Dene.
Oh,
Whoa.
yes.
Hello.
Give to me.
Switching it up, okay? Jesse Simmons. Chris McAfee.
Hello.
And Jeremy Matthews.
At least I'm still last. Yes, Jorge, this is the final day of our Game of the Year 2014 deliberations. We have 5 candidates left to be our Game of the Year. We're going to put them in order from 5 to 1. What are they?
Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft. South Park, The Stick of Truth. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. Dragon Age Inquisition, and Far Cry 4.
This is gonna be tough.
This is a real tough one.
I'm just gonna sit back and listen to what everyone has to say.
Okay,
Maybe.
so
Just make colorful commentary.
Red.
I'll start. I don't think Middle-earth is the Game of the Year.
Well, it's not Game of the
No.
Year, but I still think it's... I think it's 4. South Park is 5.
I could get, yeah.
That's coming from someone who really likes South Park too.
South Park was wicked.
Yeah, but so is Shadow of
it was
Mordor.
fantastic.
I mean, I played a little. I didn't play it, but in our class we watched our instructor play a little bit, because it had a really good intro.
Yeah.
And then
it did.
And then I've watched a lot of Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor, and I don't know. I just feel like Middle Earth did better.
I think Far Cry 4 is not as good as either of those games.
Ooh.
Judging by what you're saying, Chris, and I played South Park and Far Cry. Far Cry 4 is really cool, but
It seems a lot like Far Cry 3,
yeah,
though.
it doesn't have...
Well, yeah, because they only made it just bigger. And
I mean, it's better than Far Cry 3,
Yeah.
and it's an awesome game. But at this level, I certainly think South Park's a better game. And Chris, if you say that Shadow of Mordor is a better game than South Park, I think Far Cry's 5.
Alright, I'm good with
I
that.
can do that.
Hey, we're doing pretty well so far. We haven't had any
Wow,
arguments.
that's the first one.
Oh,
down.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
So now it's between South Park and Middle of Earth, or South Park
Middle Earth.
Middle
Middle
try.
Earth, Middle of Earth.
Middle of Earth.
Middle Earth. Shadow Mordor.
It's like the bootleg version you find.
I think I want to throw Hearthstone in for 4th.
Okay, I do not. I let Far
agree.
Cry go.
That's true.
And I think that South Park and Middle Earth are contenders here.
Okay.
I think it's just South Park, then Middle Earth.
I think South Park's a solid 4.
All right.
South Park it is. Kenny!
And then Middle Earth is obviously 3, right?
Yeah, there we go. Don't do that.
Really? I thought you guys were going to fight me on that one.
No.
Well,
I mean, it's obvious how it's going to end up, so I'm just not going to fight it.
no, I kind of want to fight it actually.
Alright, go for it. I'm not involved.
Oh, Jorge's already midway through writing Middle Earth.
I'm
Oh,
done,
no,
dude.
no.
Deleting text is so difficult.
I think Hearthstone's a great game.
It is a
Okay,
fantastic.
don't get me
game.
wrong, it's super fun, but it doesn't have a whole lot to it.
I just feel like it's sort of similar to Magic and all those kind of games.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's really cool that it has Warcraft heroes, but if you want to play something Warcraft, you play World of Warcraft. You don't just play Hearthstone.
No, that's a ridiculous argument.
I-
The beauty of Hearthstone is how perfectly it's designed. The simplicity of it. Magic, there's a lot more going on to achieve the same effect.
It is true.
Hearthstone is so easy to pick up, and there's so much depth to it.
I just like a lot of the guys in my class. They do play it, between classes and breaks, and they look like they're interested, but it just doesn't seem like a game that is just so. I mean, it's high quality, but it doesn't feel better than Middle Earth. Middle Earth.
Stop saying middle of Earth.
Middle of Earth.
Middle of
Shadow
Earth.
Center
Mordor.
of, Journey to the Center of the Earth. It's my favorite movie.
Middle Earth just seems like it has so much more to it, and it
But
seems
what,
more interesting.
really, though?
The combat is actually quite fun.
It's incredibly fun.
It's incredibly fun. I think one of the coolest aspects of it is rising up through the ranks with different orcs and being able to take them over and assigning them different missions. Like that, to me, is insanely awesome. Being able to look at the different kinds of orcs and the way that...
Well, just
everything
being able
works.
to see their weaknesses and their strength, and then just manipulating that to to your advantage if you want to just kill them outright, or if you want to promote them to war chief. It's a really cool system. I think it makes the enemies more personal.
Yeah.
It gives you a reason to kill them. It gives you a reason why, if you kill someone, or if an orc kills you, then it just it feels like, oh, like I have to go kill that guy now, even if it takes me like an hour more to go find that guy and kill him, then just kill this orc right next to me.
Plus, it looked beautiful.
It did.
And it plays amazing. I was watching some of Chris playing, and some of the stuff that was going on. So like he was having two orcs pit against each other, and one was just like really horrible, and the other one wasn't as bad. But you really wanted to kill the other one and have the other one be promoted, because even though they're orcs, one of them actually looked after his subordinates, while the other one was just like, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. And you really like brought out a lot of emotional ties to your decisions, and it was really interesting the way you play it.
I think there's a fundamental clash of ethos here between Shadow of Mordor is a very good AAA game. There's a lot of great ideas going on. I've no problem admitting that. It's one of the best games of the year. Hearthstone is a transcendent experience, though. It's the purity of gameplay there, and the way they've seamlessly integrated all the free-to-play stuff. Like, think about how many failed free-to-play games we've had that incorporate it so badly. Hearthstone, it's barely there.
Yeah, and it does have definitely a lot of points for being free-to-play.
And it does it so well.
Yeah.
Is the thing, because we've had so many developers searching for a way to do it properly, and Hearthstone does it so properly. It's just like what Blizzard did with World of Warcraft for the MMO genre.
Yeah.
I think this is that a decade later, perfectly. And it plays so well.
I think, I just want to throw it out there, I think if it wasn't Heroes of Warcraft, if it was just like someone else created it, but it played the exact same, I think it would not be as high.
Well, it wouldn't have been marketed as well.
That's true.
But it is, like, I've played a lot of other of these kinds of games.
Mm-hmm.
This is far beyond that. Just the attention to detail in each aspect of the game, the simplicity of it.
And it is hard to create a card game. It's one of the hardest games you can create.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you look at, I just want to use Magic because it's such a huge, card base.
A clear inspiration.
Every card they create, they have to take into effect every single card they've ever created before they create even a new card.
Absolutely.
It's very, I think one of the guys in my class was going to create a card game, and just, like, the flack he got from, how difficult this is. It's so difficult to balance every single card and not have it to be overpowered, I think, is also.
And I think that's some of the beauty of Hearthstone is that there's a concise nature to it that most of these other card games lack, just because of there's only a few special attributes.
Okay.
Right?
And you can kind of like Peggle, you have your own class, right?
Exactly,
which has different abilities.
And the decks there's tons of customization options.
Right. And the multiplayer is good because you can only play multiplayer, right?
Oh no, there's single player practice mode, but yeah, okay. It's a competitive game.
All right. I don't know. It's the thing of like what I think is that it's so simple. It kind of doesn't feel like such a huge game.
But that's what's so beautiful about it.
Yeah, that's also another aspect. Is that I understand completely that it's so simple and nice and it's beautiful. But that's the problem I'm having with it. I just can't bring myself to be like, oh, but it's just so simple and easy that it doesn't feel like it's that great. I don't know why. I just can't put it above Middle of Earth.
Middle of Earth.
Middle Earth. Sorry.
You're gonna get it disqualified just because you can't say it properly.
Here's the thing. Hearthstone is by far the game I played the most this year.
Okay.
And when I was playing other games and I didn't want to play them, all I wanted to play was Hearthstone because it has that perfect addictive quality and every element of it is perfectly balanced.
Okay.
And there's no flaw. Like, you can find flaws in Middle Earth.
That's true, you can.
And I just think Hearthstone is such an achievement in the way it's designed and the business model and the gameplay that it's special. It's something special, and it's something we're not going to see every year.
Okay. So Chris?
I'm fine.
Right. So
Middle of Earth 3.
All right. I'm okay with
Middle of Earth.
I like it. Middle of Earth. We're just going to stick with it. It's their fault for not sticking Lord of the Rings on that.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna call it Middle of Earth.
Middle of Earth.
But fantastic game. Number 3.
All right.
Okay, let's argue about Dragon Age.
Oh,
There's
Jesus.
no argument.
There is an argument.
I can't like.
Did.
So we've heard everything about.
Did.
We've heard
Dead.
stuff
Everything.
about Hearthstone. I may have more to say.
Okay,
Tell me about Dragon Age.
Chris, you want to take the lead on this one?
No, you got it.
I feel like I've been talking.
No,
about
yeah,
this
but you've been talking so well that you should keep talking.
You got the
Oh, so
ball
you guys
rolling.
can't even
Yeah.
can't even come up with one thing to say about Dragon Age.
All right, so okay, let's start here then.
That was a good try, Jeremy.
I'm just building my case.
When I first played the game, I was hooked immediately. I also played the game for about 20 hours before I left even the first area. And I couldn't get enough of just, like, it was a small area. It wasn't
It
small.
was really big.
It was a big area, but it didn't
Yeah,
have...
it's 20 hours.
Yeah, no, but it didn't have... Like, I'm looking at a lot of the other later stuff, and it didn't have everything that the later levels have. But it just the environment, it looked so beautiful, and you wanted to spend every moment just exploring, even if it meant nothing. You wanted to see everything. Like I remember, I would just go around the whole map, just looking at things and collecting material. Like in a lot of games, collecting material like plants and rocks or minerals
It's boring as hell.
It's boring as
Yeah.
hell. But in this game,
I think it's because in this game, it's the first one in the series where you can actually, like, if you see something like, oh, look, there's something on that hill, you can actually go to it now.
yeah,
In the other ones, you couldn't do that.
yeah,
Because you were restricted to the one path, but in this one, you can go anywhere on a level.
yeah. It's if it just came out by itself, it'd be like, okay, well, you can go anywhere. But it's because it was Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. That with this one, you have so much freedom and you feel like you can do anything and go anywhere, which is amazing. Plus, the walking around is amazing because you have your followers, and like Dragon Age Origins and 2, they talk to each other and create amazing dialogue that you can listen to and enjoy, and you really get a feel for your characters that follow you around, and you really get attached to them. And it's just like I can spend hours doing nothing but walking around or collecting things. And I also want to say this is that you guys hate fetch quests, right? Or kill quests.
I wouldn't say I hate them.
A lot of games it's annoying. Like it's like, okay, go collect all of this.
But I understand your point, yes.
In this one, I don't mind it. It's really it's not a problem for me to go to 10 different areas, pick up something, and then return the quest in. I feel like I can walk around.
Yeah, but why is that? Is there some sort of extra reward to it, or is it just the connection with the world?
The
or
connection,
the gameplay?
It's the world and the gameplay. Like I said, the world is amazing, and every area you go to feels completely different. It feels like I remember in Origins, a lot of the areas looked very much the same, and in Dragon Age 2, they looked almost all the same to me. It was very boring. But in this one, you can tell that they took a lot of the criticism they got from the first 2, and they really went to it, because you can have there's this like really gross swamp area, and then you can go to this place called the Emerald Graves, where everything is green and it looks amazing. Or you can go to a place that I felt really close to was called the Storm Coast, because it felt very like Coast Vancouver kind of like. It was very rainy, forests everywhere.
Everybody had yoga pants.
Yeah,
you know.
Starbucks everywhere now.
Boots.
A lot of rock formations also there. It felt very like I felt
Rock
like
formations.
I had a connection to that place.
That's what wins Game of the Year. Rock formations.
Yeah.
Dwayne the Rock.
And then there's
formations.
like a desert area, which I didn't really enjoy as much as the other ones, just because it was plain, but it was nice to be there. But I feel like I'm connected to these areas because they're so different and there's so much detail in them. I haven't found myself bored walking through any area yet.
So, I know, Chris, you've mentioned a couple of times that you had some issues with the combat system in the game.
Well, yeah, on PC it's annoying because there used to be like auto attack, which is kind of basic for most games. Now you have to hold left mouse button to attack, which is annoying, but it's easily overlooked.
Yeah.
They limit your abilities to 8, which is my biggest.
Yeah, it's a real bummer.
That's the thing I hate the most about this game, is because like in Dragon Age 2 and 1, you could have like 30 abilities, and now you can only have 8, and they give you like 20 abilities on your one character, so you have to keep like respecking like pretty much every time you go into a battle, just like depending on who you're fighting, which really disappointed me. But it's sort of easily overlooked once you get like kind of your favorite abilities down. Like I just have like the high damage ones.
Yeah, it's all about speccing your characters, because you want characters that your followers, you want them to have certain things. So if you have say one of the characters is Cassandra, one of the first people you meet, if you put her more as like a support type, you can have more damage on your side, or you can have a mage that will be able to do area of effect, or a rogue that is able to move around and take out people. It's all about how you. I kind of understand how they did it, and I was kind of annoyed a little bit, but then I kind of understood. It's how you play your characters and how you play the game that really it kind of constrains it, and you have to really figure it out and spend a lot of time working on what your style of gameplay is, really. Another part I did also annoy me a little bit at the beginning was that you have a set amount of potions for health potions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whereas unlike in Dragon Age Origins or 2, you could have a lot and then be okay. I mean, it makes the game a lot harder, but with this, it's just like you go from having a lot of potions to only having a set amount, and when you're in areas where you can't leave, there are supply caches you have to find.
Yeah.
But it was kind of disappointing, but I'm learning to work with it. And they also have other potions that you can use for health. It's all about
There's like health
regeneration. Yeah, it's all like when you look at it now, it's all about just understanding what style of gameplay you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely have to take in the situations more carefully, and just kind of like focus on what the enemy is, what he does.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's definitely more tactical.
It sounds like the same sort of niggling issues that have been following BioWare for a couple of games now. Just like the weird limits.
Yeah.
That sort of thing that seem more console-centric.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel if it was PC only, you'd be able to have a lot more of this.
But since the game is much stronger, it seems this time.
You notice more.
Yeah.
Well, you also notice it more.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
everything else is so amazing, and I've like. Those are the only two things that I've been like, okay, well they should have done this wrong, but everything else I've been like, I can't even think of a better way to make this game except for those two things.
And Mitchell, you used the word filler once or twice in describing some of the content.
Filler?
Yeah.
I said that.
Or yeah, you said that. Chris,
But
sorry.
that comes with the size though. Like
Yeah.
with a game that big, you can't just have like one mission here and one mission there. It'll make it feel too empty.
There's a lot of filler, but it's
Yeah,
interesting.
is the filler content necessarily bad?
It's not bad. It's just there's a lot of it.
But that's more for leveling up and things like that.
Yeah.
You get XP, or you get a lot of more of the environment. I feel is worth thrilling, because if I were to just go through the whole game without doing a lot of the filler, I feel like I wouldn't get a full experience and see the beautiful environments that they've.
But a lot of people are going to play it like that.
That's true, and I feel kind of bad for them because they're missing out on something so amazing. Like I've barely done the main quest. I have been doing strictly side quests because I feel like if I haven't witnessed everything before I do the main quest, I'm gonna miss out on something.
Yeah.
And it really it irks me. Like I can't let that go. I have to experience everything that they've offered before I even think about main quest stuff. Like before I've chosen something to do as a main quest just because I want to progress a little bit more into the game. I'm like, okay, well I want this area completely done, so I don't have to think about it.
There's no filler in Hearthstone.
That's because it's so simple
Lean,
and it's just
mean,
so
fighting
small.
machine.
It's simply Hearthstone sets out to do one thing, and it does that very well, and it's very simple, so it doesn't need filler.
Yeah, and that's what's beautiful about it.
Yeah,
you just get to play the best part over and over again.
Yeah, but it's also because it's
It's
a
always
card game.
different.
Yeah.
You can't really have filler in a card game.
You just play
can.
blackjack every 10 rounds.
The Magic games have like a campaign mode,
Yeah, that's
which is not good.
No.
Okay.
I also do want to say one more thing.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. What I think Dragon Age has done best, always, is companions.
except for 2.
Okay, I overlooked 2 most of the time, because that game sucked.
It didn't suck.
It sucked.
It didn't
It
suck.
sucked.
How
It
dare
was
you?
alright.
It was boring.
What are you talking?
I don't know.
The companions in this game,
Yeah, they're definitely
they
It's
feel like real people. It's just like you go through it, and every decision you make is, of course they've got like the whole thing where if you make a decision in the game, some of your party members will approve and some of them will disapprove, and it's
Classic.
like, and it's really interesting because every choice you make isn't going to make everyone happy. So you have to balance it to whereas some people will enjoy it and some people
like if you pick Hearthstone as game of the year, some people are gonna get annoyed.
Yeah,
it's just like life.
It's you feel more,
but you should do it anyway. Because
I think Dragon Age is the first game or one of the first games where I've like sat down and I've looked at the clock and it's been 8 hours since I started. Like I just get lost in it.
Yeah.
It feels like it was 5 minutes have gone by, but it's been like 8 hours.
And what I like when I do get bored of it, and I'm like, okay, I need to do something else. All I'm thinking about is Dragon Age. It's like, okay, well, I can go back and do this. And I also like it really cool too is they have a war table.
Yeah,
where you can
it's
choose
really cool.
operations that go on for a certain amount of time. So even like I'll wake up in the morning, turn on my Xbox, and the game's still playing. I'll jump into it, go to the war table, finish the operations, and start new ones, and then go do something else, like go to school or work. It's just like I'm always wanting to go back and be like, okay, well that operation's done, so now I can go back and do that.
And it's awesome that there are a couple games this year that capture that kind of that addiction. That
this game is so
because
addictive.
the last couple years,
we
we really haven't had something like that. It's been really an amazing year for games.
Oh yeah, it's
even though there have been a lot of flops.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Unity. It didn't even make it on this list because it just
Watch Dogs.
Just the
Destiny.
way that
but there were some exceptional games that we've highlighted.
Yeah,
I am willing to concede that Dragon Age Inquisition is game of the year because I think that's the way the tables are turning. Hearthstone is fantastic. I've played it for hundreds of hours and not put a cent into it. I think that's remarkable.
Yeah, no. When you can play a free-to-play game without buying money, I mean, it hurts the developers, but it really makes.
Well, no, not even because.
No. Okay, yeah, but
if you're enjoying playing the game and you're invested in it,
that's true.
Which happens when you can do that, then you want to buy something.
Yeah, you want.
Which is much better than the free-to-play games where you feel like you have to buy something and get the full experience because then you're not along with the developer; you're fighting against them.
Yeah, and that's it's a very fine line. Like. I've a lot of people are doing mobile games in my classes, and we look at a lot of them, and a lot of them it's just like, okay, well, how can we get people to spend money instead of how can we get people to enjoy our game so that they want to spend money?
Yeah, and instead of putting walls up, Hearthstone just lets you run wild, and then if you want to pay for something,
because if you make something that people love and enjoy and want to go back and play, they will put money into it.
Exactly.
It's like one of the biggest factors.
But it's also beautiful that you can still put down $60 and get a 100-hour awesome experience like Dragon Age.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot more than 100 hours, though.
I'm hoping to only spend 100 hours. That's my ambition.
You're not going to get there. You're gonna get into the game, and you're going to be like, main quest? Nah.
As long as I play less of it than Hearthstone. That's all.
You don't want to contradict yourself.
Also, I don't think it's possible at this point.
Really?
I played a lot of that game. Anyway. Jorge, do you want to run down our final list?
Alright. Number 10, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Number 9, Wolfenstein.
The New Order.
The New Order. Oh.
No, Wolfenstein from like the 80s. Yeah.
Okay. That's Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Alright, number 8, Alien Isolation. Number 7, Forza Horizon 2.
Jesse's in there.
Number 6, Sunset Overdrive. Number 5, Far Cry 4. Number 4, South Park: The Stick of Truth. Number 3, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Number 2, Hearthstone: Heroes of Warcraft. And numero uno, Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yay!
Oh, and there's another game we forgot, but it doesn't belong in the top 10.
Okay, what's the game of the year, Chris?
It was Endless Legend.
Okay, I remember why we forgot about that.
It's a good game.
It's a 4X
what about
game.
Divinity?
None of us played Divinity.
No,
I want to play Divinity.
Brendan Henry played it.
That's
Brendan
true,
Henry.
Brendan Henry Game of the Year. Divinity.
It seems pretty awesome. But it also seems like a lot more of a niche
We also
thing.
forgot Unity.
No, we didn't.
What we talked about.
I thought Unity was
Dragon Age is the game of the year.
Unity is.
I want to hear what Jorge has to say.
No, you don't, because he's going to make a joke about the Unity engine.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I know you, buddy.
Good.
If you want more top 10 lists like this, we each have a personal list up on the site, or Mitchell's will be up tomorrow. The rest of ours are up now.
Mine's the most important one.
Up on dgamecast.com. Yours is pretty good. I like yours.
Thank you.
Good list. Everybody had a good list. Jorge's was a top 5.
None of them made it.
Because he played like 7 games, but...
Jesse got his in, which is...
Jesse got 1 game in.
He fought for that.
And, so yeah.
And then promptly pulled a Jesse and gave up midway through.
And then I have to fight
we'll
for
have
it.
Mitchell's up tomorrow. We'll also have all of us reading off this top 10 list in a fancy video tomorrow. And then we'll see you in the new year for our 2015 preview. See you guys then.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.